Good morning, friends. Excuse me. This is the time for trade plan for 27th of October 2020. Now, yesterday the market had a strong rejection from 12,000. Over the weekend, I had mentioned that the odds of 12,000 being crossed are low. So, overnight markets, let's have a look at the S&P 500. See, S&P 500 is now clearly forming the M pattern as it's called. So one top, second top, and we've had a bit of a breakdown here. So possibly, 3200 at some point in the next few days could be revisited. Okay. Clearly the market is showing lots of weakness. Reasons, COVID cases, you know, in the US, in Europe, election uncertainty, etc. So, in an uncertain environment, you are not going to get very confident markets which are rallying hard. And having said all of this, let's see what the Nifty can do today. Now, Nifty yesterday has made candles which we have seen earlier also. Uh, I think here, here, and here. But in all these three candles, there was no follow through. So what we are looking for is whether the Nifty is able to give us follow through, and that would mean that global markets, remain weak and US futures don't really recover. So that would mean that we get declines. Also in our market, we have Reliance, which is continuously weak. IT, banks, almost everything is giving up. So it's very clear that we are not going past this zone. Plus, FIIs have now stopped buying and they are now selling. So if you are in a range like this, and if at the top end you are seeing fairly rough rejection, then market sooner or later should come down from the bottom end of the range. Now let's talk about what or how we can plan today. Today you have this 200 on the 5 minute at 11,882. By the time we open, it will probably come down to 11,850 thereabouts. So if we have to take a short trade, we kind of have a gap up, and then we have to see some sort of a decline. So try to get short in the area of, let's have a look at the pivots. On the Nifty, R1 is about 11,834. So that seems to be a level you can deal with. On the Bank Nifty, you have R1 at 24,442. So any sort of excursion into these levels should allow you to take short trades. Now, it is possible that we don't have follow through and we have a mild upside. So, we will have to see the strength of that rally to assess where it is going and whether in the second half we see a resumption of the trend. As far as I am concerned, I don't think going long is on the table. Yes, initially you could have a bit of rally, but I would be looking out for a resumption of the decline. Okay, because I don't think that you can keep doing this low momentum moves. I had said these are low momentum moves, and with one red candle, all these guys have been cleaned out. So somewhere, you see, the market has lost momentum. This is stochastic RSI. As you can see, these peaks were made when the stochastic RSI is here. So with such low momentum, it is unlikely that we are going to go up. So the idea is that we are going lower. Now, in between, you can have your rallies and you can have your pullbacks. But my thinking is that we are going to go down. Bank Nifty showed a bit more resilience than the Nifty, but I think even the bank's rally is probably done. So at higher levels, I think I would doubt that Bank Nifty is able to cross 24,500. So that way, the red candle of yesterday has broken some kind of range. So very important that when these range breakdowns happen, like this is the sort of zone where the range breakdown has happened. This morning, Asia isn't really showing a lot of green, although SGX is jumping up. So my sense is that post some initial morning green, we should move to the downside. Now, RIL, what is the deal? RIL clearly is weakening below 2050. So there could be further downside here. And I had said wherever RIL goes, there goes the market. So, this sort of dome style formation is not positive. This stochastic RSI is lying down on the floor. This shows very strong trend on the downside. So till RIL remains weak, it will be difficult for market to have a sustainable bounce. I think two-wheelers have had trouble, and I think the Bajaj Auto rally, that is over for a bit. This is the kind of candle you have seen on Bajaj Auto. So my sense is that we could maybe get closer to 2800 here. So this is one of the trades. If you do get some sort of bounce, you can sell into Bajaj Auto. More trades. HDFC Life is a buy. Again, narrow range, and you start to see this sort of green candle. If we get follow through above yesterday's high, it could have a further upside. Hindalco, because if global markets are uncertain, metals will be uncertain. So Hindalco, you can see you are getting some kind of an M pattern which is happening here. Okay. So this is one of the trades. Again, all of these guys are likely to open up. So Hindalco, you can, go short. The target here could be about 164. Target on HDFC Life could be 595, 600. Then you have Manappuram Finance. Again, narrow range and now breaking down. I think you can easily get 148, 150 on Manappuram. And finally, you have Hind Lever. Hind Lever is exactly at 200. So if we get action above yesterday's high, we could see levels of 2200 plus defensive safe type stock. So this is the sort of stock that you should take in this sort of environment. One key thing I want to mention on the Nifty, that this week you have broken on the first day last week's low. Okay, last week's low was 11,775. Now that's not a great sign. So my sense is that we are looking at a serious down week. I think Bank Nifty has not done that, but Nifty has. So Bank Nifty, I think low is still some ways away. Low was 23,754. So the idea is that we have to see whether the low of last week on the Nifty gets rejected on the downside, and finally the Nifty moves below 1177. So the market will be weak below 11,777, and for it to be strong, I think you have to get back now about 11,900, beyond which you should give up your bearish view. My take, next 2 weeks will be choppy and towards the weaker side, because you see election will come and go. The issue that global markets are facing is this resurgence of COVID in Europe and US, and even out here, auto sales are not blowing the lights out. So a lot of consumption that people are assuming may not be actually happening. So we have some local issues also. So that should be it. Take care, trade well, and please consult your financial advisor. I am looking for Nifty to break 11,750 and for the bank Nifty to break 23,900, and where I will give up uh, these positions is 11,900 and 24,500. So take care and trade well.